Hello everyone, I'm Justin, and for today's video, we're surviving the apocalypse. Heavenly Delusion is one of the most acclaimed sci-fi animes of last year, and to me, that I was watching it weekly as it aired, it represented everything I was looking for in this type of show. It has great world building, the characters are multidimensional and feel like real people, and it can be funny when it needs to,
形だけでも便器があると気分が違うね。
and be dark when it has to be.
裏切ったのは脱走した僕なのでしょうか。
It is unapologetic in its actions, and does not cower to show us the ugly side of humanity. And after a year from its original release, I thought it was time to finally revisit the story. So, for today's video, we will be taking a look at Heavenly Delusion, its story, and if it still stands 1 year after. And of course, here is the spoiler warning, as there will be major spoilers ahead for the story. So, please take that in consideration. And with that said, let's move on with the video. So, what is Heavenly Delusion about? Well, the world is set in a post-apocalyptic Japan in a collapsed society that is infested by monsters. And the story is divided into two different storylines. The first one follows Kiruko and Maru, as they are looking for a place called Heaven. While the second story follows a group of kids living in a school-like facility unaware of the troubles of the outside world. And for some reason, one of them looks similar but not quite the same as Maru. Right off the bat, the story throws us into an unfamiliar world with unfamiliar rules. Our two main characters are walking down the street as they get jumped by what can only be described as ugly bastards. Kiruko pulls out a toy gun. Clearly just a bluff to repel the bandits. It doesn't work, they saw through the ruse. But she pulls the trigger anyway. Well, I be damned, that's a laser. That's what the anime does so well. This is a show don't tell kind of story. And as the story is intended for a more mature audiences, the author doesn't hold your hand and gives you an explanation on everything. But he gives you clues and hints so that you can solve the puzzle by yourself and make your own assumptions. You look at the logo of the gun and start to see it in other places. Clearly that logo represents something, and you slowly piece together that it is connected to the school facility. Or how about the school kid making sketches of weird creatures, and a monster in the outside world that is strikingly similar to it. The show is not outright telling you that there is a connection, but you know there is, and that understanding just leads you deeper and deeper into the rabbit hole. The side of Kiruko and Maru shows us a world where humanity has been divided, and as such, groups and factions are created. You get to see both the good and ugly sides of people. Families trying to stick together, betrayal out of fear, raw desire for control, and so much more.
15の母親を殺したのは
Meanwhile, the school facility shows us the untamed world of the kids, how they interact with each other, learn about themselves and each other without strong interference of adults. This is when we see what friendship and love can be at its rawest form. And then there are the scientists trying to create immortal beings, but let's not talk about that for now. As the story progresses, we slowly learn new things about our characters. Kiruko had a brother called Haruki, and spoilers ahead? After an accident with a monster, his mind is transferred into the body of Kiruko. So, in reality, we had been following Haruki in the body of Kiruko this whole time, and they have been looking for two important people in their life. Robin, who is a close friend of them, and the doctor that made the mind transfer operation. I am not going to say the final spoiler for Robin, but let's just say that things don't end really well. The anime is filled with some incredibly well-developed characters and beautiful moments. And I think the peak moment for me had to be in episode 8. Following the previous episode where two factions are fighting, as a group of people wants to overthrow a shady doctor called Usami, that in reality was just looking for a way to end the misery of his beloved Hoshio.
これが 患者たちの治療の礎だってのか。
At the final moments of Hoshio, we get to see the bright of her eyes as she sees the sky one final time. And as their hideout is destroyed by the other faction, we get to see the final moments of the Doctor, and we get a glimpse of what true love is. And on the other side, we have ghosts, superpowers, the elderly Doctor wants to transfer her brain into a younger person. Where have I seen that before? Oh, and the guy that looks like Maru, well, she's a girl and she's pregnant and she had twins, but don't worry about it. One thing to mention about the anime is its beautiful art. From the unconventional animation in the opening sequence, to the solid animation through most of the show, the short but fluid fighting sequences, the running from monster sequences, and of course, those beautiful still moments that stand out in the story and elevate it. While the story by itself can already stand out on its own, having this good of an animation makes it something special and worth watching. But I still need to say that there are a few flaws, or at least for the anime side of the story. With only 13 episodes, so far the story feels a bit incomplete. We got a lot of exposure and information. There was a clear conclusion to some plotlines, as Maru and Kirito take care of Robin, while some kids in the facility escape, while others are taken by boat into a city. But it still feels like there is something missing, like the story is not complete, and I just need more of it. This is one of those stories that when you finish the anime, you will want to go and read the manga, because you cannot wait for a new season to come out. If you really can't wait, then you can start from chapter 35, as the story arc for Robin ends in chapter 34. But the kid's story still continues until chapter 38 because they change it a bit up in the anime. But seriously, you have to watch the anime, as it is in my consideration one of the best animes of last year, and just an overall good story with a feast for the eyes in the animation department. So, what are you waiting for? Go and watch it now. And with that said, we come to the conclusion of this anime review. What do you guys thought of Heavenly Delusion? Let me know in the comments below. Until then, see you guys next time.